All right, thank you very much, everybody, and welcome into this Matt Connect webinar. We've had a number of these going on now, and happy to have another one today, all about accessibility options of the Matt Connect to benefit students with low vision. So let's talk about the plan for today. So we're going to start with our intros and our objectives. We will do a dive into accessibility options in Android, the ones that are most relevant in this particular case. We'll review Prodigy accessibility options and talk about synthetic speech with the Prodigy app. Questions in the chat, please. As you know, if you've done this more than once or twice, the ACVREP credit, of course, and we do have closed captioning available. And let's move on to the Matt Connect. If you're familiar with it, this is just a review. If not, the Matt Connect, of course, is quota eligible. It is the price is $2,995. Comes with the tablet, the stand, the distance camera, the carrying case, and the Bluetooth QWERTY keyboard. And our presenters today, we have two. Heyrick Chasse is our first presenter, product manager, low vision from HumanWare. And then, of course, Eric Beauchamp, director product management for HumanWare. And finally, our objectives. We have three things. So we're going to identify 4 Android accessibility options. We're going to discuss 3 Prodigy accessibility options. And then finally, 2 benefits of synthetic speech feature in the Android app. So quite a bit to talk about. So let's hand it over to Heyrick and Eric.
If I may, Heyrick, I'm just going to say a little word, and I'm very happy to be here. I'm honored each time that I do these webinars, and I see a lot of people that are coming back to these webinars. That's awesome. A shout out to Canadian people that have been joining in. And I know that for a fact that we're going to have a couple of users of the Connect 12 also on this webinar. So all of what we're going to be doing can be done on the Connect 12 and on the Matt Connect. It's very simple. And I'm going to join. I'm going to be co-hosting this webinar today with Heyrick. But before we start, Heyrick, I just want to wish Leanne a happy birthday.
Yeah.
I learned that it was her birthday today. So happy birthday, Leanne. So let's get the show on the road.
Thank you.
So her birthday is on Sunday. She's not cursed on a Friday the 13th for birthday. So that's
I did luck out that way, but it's the only time you my birthday.
All right, so we'll be your dynamic duo, both Erics, one with an H. So I'll be reviewing some of the features today, and Eric might be jumping in to complement on some of the stuff here. So so first, I'll switch over my camera to my screen, to my Matt Connect. There you go. And first, we wanted to review some of the Android accessibility options that are built in within the Android tablet. So we'll start with those, and as we progress, we'll see the ones that are specific to Prodigy. So if you have your Matt Connect in hand, you can, within if you're directly in your carousel, there is a gesture that you can exit to Android with a 3-finger press, a four finger press, and it actually goes to the Android menu, and you can go to settings.
So Eric, so one more time, that was a 4-finger press, correct?
A 4-finger press to exit to Android.
Thanks.
4 or 5, depending
4 or 5.
If you have a 5-finger or a 4-finger.
So I can start with 5-finger. I'll do it again. So 4 fingers, it actually goes to your menu. So again, and with 5 would actually do the same. So you scroll to settings right here. And the first one that could be already useful to use is to make the larger, to make the basic font larger within the tablet. So the settings are located, they're actually grouped in different categories, such as personal, system. So if you scroll over to system, which is the last block at the bottom, there is an option that's called accessibility. Once you click on it, the one that we can start using right away that is useful is large text. And if you tap that, it will immediately enlarge the text and makes it a little easier to use. You can't define the font size at that level, but it does enlarge it immediately. So you'll see, so if I turn it off, oops, sorry. So if I turn it off here, turn it on, it instantly goes bigger. So this is the first one that we can start using right away. It'll make our job a little easier to navigate through the menus. Another one that we would like to use that is very useful, and it's not exclusive to Android. You can actually use it throughout the tablet, even within Prodigy, is the magnification gestures. So if you scroll up a bit, there's under system, there's magnification gestures, which is set to off. If you press once on it, there's a context menu that pops up that tells you how to use it. And there's a switch to turn it on at the top. And it actually gives you a context on how to use it. So it does tell you that if this feature is turned on, you can zoom in and zoom out by triple tapping the screen. So this would actually be very useful if you're in any menus and you would like an extra magnification. So you simply need to tap 3 times on the screen. So let's do it right here, because now that it's fully activated, so you'll see a green dial that turns to the right. So that confirms that it's been activated. So if you press 3 times on your screen, you instantly get a zoomed in part of your screen. And in order to navigate or pan through the screen, you need 2 fingers to swipe. And that allows you to pan across the screen that's been zoomed in, because it can't really fit in that in the entire screen. So while it is being magnified, you'll see there's also a yellow, or there's a high contrast outline around the screen that actually confirms that you're in the magnification level. So if I, again, press 3 times, it zooms out. So let's see what that would look like.
You're pressing the screen 3 times, correct?
3 times, exactly. And there's not a specific location to press 3 times. So if you, again, press 3 times, it zooms out, it zooms in. So we could actually go to an Android. I'm just going to go to
so
this
Heyrick,
one here. Yep.
There's also some other questions which can be interesting. So
yep.
If it's not working, that means that the magnification gestures are not activated. So please activate them as Heyrick just mentioned. The triple tap has to do, you have to do it really quickly.
Exactly.
But 1, 2, 3. It's a very quick 3 tap gesture that you're gonna use. And you can use maybe, let's try this, Eric, just do a triple tap again to have that magnification level. Boom, boom, boom. And then do a pinch and zoom. I can't remember if Android 6 supports that. There we go. So it does support it. So you can zoom in farther when you do a pinch and zoom once you're in the magnification window. So do a triple tap and then zoom in doing a pinch gesture.
So the natural pinch would allow over the magnification that's by default. When you triple tap, you can just pinch and zoom.
Exactly. And there was a question if we can we customize the zoom level. No, you can't. This is set in the Android system. You can go to a certain magnification level, and that's it in the in Android per se. So that's why at HumanWare we designed the Prodigy system with bigger fonts and bigger icons, so that you have that. You don't need really that kind of gestures, but it will, as Eric is going to show a little bit later, you can still use that gesture in Prodigy.
So the triple tap within the icon tray also allows you to zoom in and see all the applications that would be installed and pan through. Again, to pan once it's been zoomed, you need the 2 fingers to zoom, to pan across the screen. And a triple tap brings you back. Oh, I just launched an application. So the triple tap does have to be very quick, so as Eric just mentioned. So we'll go back to the settings menu. And again, just as a reminder, as soon as you triple tap anywhere when the feature is enabled, you'll see a yellow outline or an orange-ish color that outlines the exterior of the monitor to confirm that you're in a zoom mode. So if you do see that, then it's just a reminder that you've activated the magnification. All right. So any other questions for the magnification? I'm not looking at the.
We're good.
We're good.
Good to go. So yeah.
Okay.
I'll keep track.
Okay. Good.
Track
All
of
right.
the questions, and I'll answer or make you answer. Once we get them.
So there is another feature. It's called high contrast text. They say experimental. Some people might see some benefits with that feature, and it's very subtle. If you do turn on and turn off, the small difference that does, and it might be very hard to translate with a webcam here to show the difference, is as soon as you select a word or an item out of the menu, there is a highlight that suddenly appears and an outline on the word itself. So it's very hard to see, but it's like there's an.
So do your triple tap there.
I'll do a triple tap, but then.
And then zoom in. You see, press and hold on that word. It's very hard to see. No, just press and hold. Don't double tap.
So I'm gonna go here. There you go. Oops. Let me go back to triple tap and zoom in.
Yeah, just press and hold on that. You see when the highlight is there, there's just a small kind of like white outline on the letters, that just to bring that text out a bit more, that stands out a bit more once you selected something. That's all it does.
I think you see it now.
Yeah.
Now that I'm zoomed in a little more. So
I don't find it that useful, but the magnification gesture is very useful.
So this is, I'm going to triple tap, revert back to my menu. And the other option that we wanted to walk you through is one that people sometimes may feel worried about picking because there's a warning that says experimental may affect performance. No need to worry, it's under the display. It's called color inversion. Experimental may affect performance. We haven't noted any performance issues. It's just that they can't guarantee that it might work with all applications, because this, as soon as you activate it, it will instantly convert the white background to a darker background and all dark text to a lighter color. So here it basically looks like it's a white font on a dark background. And so this gets applied across the tablet. So if you're using Chrome, let's say I'm visiting a website, Chrome would be in a dark mode, and all the website that you'd be consulting, everything has been inverted colors. So even pictures. So it does affect the overall navigation in terms of like you're not seeing the proper or the natural colors, but it does affect the entire menus as well. So I can go back here. So the settings menu as well would be dark. And if we want to revert back to Prodigy to show you how it looks like, because this is where the main, you'll spot the difference is within Prodigy. In the carousel, you'll see that all icons have changed color, and you might not see this here with the webcam and the autofocus that I have on, but all the colors, the books application has changed color, but the words, so distance, this is all on white font on a black background, and the settings menu would also be modified. So it would be a dark background to facilitate the viewing here. So note that if you're using this combined, and we'll see later on, there are options within Prodigy to select different contrast colors. But if you have activated the basic feature within Android to invert colors, this will also affect the overall performance or the overall color combination that is built in within Prodigy. So if we want to go back and change this color mode, I'm in Prodigy, 4-finger press. I go to my Android settings, scroll over to the last block within the systems. And given that I have my magnification activated, I'll triple tap. And then I can zoom in my menu, choose accessibility. And oops, sorry, I'm a happy clicker. I click everywhere. So I'll turn off the color inversion right here. And instantly it goes back to my regular settings, which is, and that has reset the entire tablet in terms of the color inversion that was previously applied. Okay, I'll turn off the high contrast mode because not very useful for this presentation. And the last one that we wanted to review within Android is the Talkback. Talkback would be the first one that's on your list within the settings. So I'm going to zoom in. So the Talkback within services. So once you select it, there's also another context menu that it tells you that what you're about to activate will change the behavior of the tablet. So when Talkback is on, it does provide spoken feedback so that you can use your device without looking at the screen. This can be helpful for people who are blind or low vision. So what you can do is simply activate the switch, and it will ask you to confirm that you want to use Talkback. You press OK, and instantly the dial goes to the green section. And I'll turn on my volume. I'm not sure if my headset will pick up the Talkback.
Just to add to this, Heyrick, so
Yes.
Talkback in Android is like VoiceOver for the iOS devices. So it's a kind of like their voice over everything in Android. So you have gestures in order to go through all the menus and voice all the menus. You can go forward, backwards, and things like that. So just to add that.
Good.
And there was a little question here. What is color correction? In the menus of accessibility, there was a color correction option. This only adds or removes reds, greens, or blues, so you can adjust the screen or the colors that are shown on the screen. So sorry for the interruption.
Okay. Okay. So we're going to turn it on. Again, it's now activated. So now the Talkback will. So if you want, so Eric, you might want to, this is the part where I'm a little less familiar with the navigation. So as soon as you have the Talkback feature set to on, navigation buttons will get highlighted as you see here.
Exactly.
So I'm
So,
going to zoom in. And
you have a green locator where the focus is going to be. So if you swipe from the left or to the right, you'll move forward or backwards in the options that are on the screen. So you better off yet. No,
so
go back.
I'm going to
Just
triple tap just
on the
using.
screen. So if you swipe on the screen, use your swipe gesture with your finger from right to left or left to right. You'll move on each options that are shown on the screen, and it will be voiced.
So I'm going to increase my volume.
That's how you can move.
So now it's telling me that there is an arrow to revert back to the previous screen. So because that's highlighted on my screen, I click.
To select that arrow, you double click anywhere on the screen, and it will activate that arrow, the action that's on that arrow. So we've moved back to the menu. So if I want to go back to Talkback, again, you can swipe through the menus. So swipe again on the screen, and you go, no, right to left, or you can just did what Eric just did, just select Talkback. But if you can't see Talkback, that's where the gestures of swiping is very important. You can swipe, and you're going to go through all the options. So it's going to go through all the list until you hit the Talkback option, and then you can double tap anywhere on the screen to activate that.
So
option.
from left to right, I would go to, now I'm within the services section. If I want to toggle to Talkback once, and now it also confirms the title. So the speech will speak back the Talkback title and its feature. So if now it's set to on, it tells me that it's on. So if I go to select to speak, that would be the next one. And now it tells me that it's confirmed to be off.
So now, once we have activated Talkback, this is an easy way to go and navigate through all the different applications in the Android system. And also in Prodigy, it's still going to work in Prodigy. You'll still have the accessibility of using Talkback in Prodigy. But the only section that you won't be able to use it is once you're going to use the annotation application in Prodigy. Just because there's conflicts in the gestures that are used in Talkback and what is used in the annotation. So if you go and edit, for example, a file in the gallery in the Prodigy software.
Let me go back
Eric is
to.
going to do that for you. I don't know if you have something in your gallery.
No, it's a brand, it's a Virgin tablet.
So let's go take a note then. That's another option of using the annotation. Oh, there we go. So double tap to select notes because you're using Talkback.
I did have something.
So let's double tap on the on that one if you want to continue editing the file that you have there. Double tap on it. And then if you want to start writing on it, you would use the little pencil, which is a third icon from at the bottom there from the left. And as soon as you do that, we're going to tell you to disable the Talkback in order to use this tool. There's a very simple way to pause your Talkback because I know that a lot of people use Talkback in Android. So if you want to pause your Talkback while using the annotation tool, you can just do a swipe. You can do an L gesture in the middle of the screen. I think it's because you got, there we go. And there's a pop-up menu that's going to appear and you can go and select, I think the option is pause feedback. So again, you can use your gestures to go down the loop, the options, and then select pause feedback, double tap to select it.
So pause feedback, and there's also a pop-up that confirms you that you're about to suspend Talkback.
Yeah. And you've paused Talkback in order to be able to use the annotation. So now if you go and press the little pencil again, then you can start using the annotation tool that is available in Prodigy. And once you want to reactivate or resume Talkback, you just do the same gesture, the L gesture right in the middle of the screen. No, it's true.
Oh.
That in Prodigy. You're going to have to swipe from the top of the screen.
Let me try that again.
No, it won't work. It won't work because your talkback is not activated. So the simplest way to do that, just hit the power button once and power back on. Talkback will be activated again. I'm pretty sure.
All right.
If you tap on it.
Nope.
So it's
Should I?
But just, you can go on the top of the screen with your finger and swipe down, swipe down.
Yep.
Swipe down. There we go. And there's a resume option on Talkback. You can select that.
Talkback is suspended. And now I see a green outline around my activated. So that's the proof that it's been reactivated. So if I go back in notes, double tap, I wouldn't be able to use the annotation tool now. There you go.
Yep. So I have a question here. How do you turn the icons at the bottom of notes? How do you disable Talkback? I'm not too sure how to understand the question, but once you're in notes, you have that button banner that you can hide if you want. So you can just swipe it. I would deactivate Talkback in order to use this.
Yeah.
And we're going to show you an alternative way of not using Talkback in Prodigy. We've done our own kind of Talkback feature in Prodigy that it's simple to use with all the Prodigy interface.
Oops, sorry. Okay.
So there's another interesting question that I get often. Does Talkback interfere with the Prodigy TTS? It will not be the same TTS. It will not be the same voice. So let's say I take a capture and I have the OCR done on the capture, and then I start reading my document. The Prodigy will start reading my document. Then it's not going to be the same voice as the Talkback voice. You're still going to be having, let's say, Heather in Prodigy, but Talkback is the normal or standard voice that comes with Talkback. So how to disable Talkback in the notes? Just do the L gesture right on top of the screen, and there's a pop-up menu that will appear. And in that menu, you'll have the option of pausing feedback.
I can do another. So L.
An L gesture.
Oh, hang on. Okay.
There we go.
So it is L shape, and then pause feedback would be almost 2/3 down. Pause feedback, double tap on OK. There you go. So I've actually turned down my volume because it was conflicting with both of us trying to speak. So, but with the Talkback feature from Android, the Prodigy carousel, I can reactivate it if you guys want, but you can hear Talkback is suspended. Now it's, so as I move from one to the other.
There's also another way of disabling Talkback in any kind of application. And there's a shortcut for it. It's a press and hold. Well, it's a press at the same time, the volume down and the power button. What I don't like about that shortcut, it's the same shortcut as taking a screenshot. So by pausing the Talkback, you'll take a screenshot of whatever you have there. But that's another shortcut. It's the power button and the volume button, up or down. That will be that can pause your Talkback also. So Heyrick, if we can disable Talkback, and we're going to go back to Prodigy and maybe show our the way that we handle our own Talkback in Prodigy. So they
Yes.
work seamlessly in Prodigy.
All right. So now that it's been deactivated, sorry. So within your carousel, you can scroll over to settings. So we want to dive right into the speech one?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. So within this menu, the second option is audio. And by default, the speech would be set to off.
And normally, what I like for my students, or when a student starts using the Matt Connect or the Connect 12, is that I like it to be off. I want the student to concentrate on learning how to read instead of having the machine read it out for them. So it makes them learn the right way. If your eyes get tired and then you have less energy, then you can use maybe documents only and or speech on all the time, or maybe a legally blind student can use a speech on all the time, where that user needs to have everything read out loud to him.
That's right. So that's the off menu. We can have it set to documents only.
Yes,
or,
document.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
And with the full on. Okay, I'm just going to turn on my voice. So as soon as you switch over to speech on, the overall navigation will change. That means you can't pinpoint and select an item directly on the screen. You need to scroll across the items, and what's being read is actually what would be outlined in the rectangle here with the red color. So if I go back,
audio menu, 5 items, speech
so so speech will actually read exactly what's within that menu. So if there are 6 items, it will say 6 items. And as you scroll,
speech rate, normal, submenu.
And when it ends with submenu, that means there's an arrow that will lead to another menu. So if I go back to speech rate and normal, so this one, if I selected,
Speech rate menu, 5 items, normal.
So it tells me there are 5 items, and the one that's currently selected on the screen is normal. So if I scroll across the screen, it will read exactly the one that's within that rectangle.
Normal. Slow. Very slow.
And it also gives you an audio preview of how fast and how slow the voice is. So if I go to very fast, you might hear it.
Normal, fast, very fast.
There you go.
So let's say I'm very low vision and I can't see that back button that you're pressing to go back.
That's right.
How would I go about it? How would I select it? How would I know that it's there? What you want to do when your speech is on, you want to do a press and hold of 2 fingers. Maybe separate your fingers there. There we go.
Yeah, my fingers were too. Yeah.
So navigation is on now, and the first thing that happened is that the highlight is on the back button, and it voiced it out. It's a back button. So what you want to do is then you can tap anywhere on the screen, and it's going to activate, or it's going to execute that back function on that. Again, so you're in that menu, so you can read all the options in that menu, or if you want to go back, press and hold 2 fingers on the screen, and it will go to that back button again.
So
that's very useful if I go into my
2
let's say
fingers.
my notes application and I want to go through the button banner. Then you can tap anywhere on the screen and you will activate that button. So let's go, for example, in our notes application that we had previously, and we had a button banner at the bottom, right? So go to your notes application, because you had something there in your notes application. and we select that note and press and hold two fingers on the screen.
Navigation on.
Navigation on. So it voiced the first button that it has highlighted. So if you want to see what's on the button banner, you swipe left to right or left to right or right to left, and it's going to go through all the buttons for you, exactly like we have with Talkback. Well, right now we're using the TTS that's inside Prodigy.
Settings.
And I do agree, Heather sounds a lot better than the Google voice.
Yes.
Settings.
Again, just swipe across the screen and it will read exactly the one that's being highlighted in the red color.
And if you want to select that button, you just tap anywhere on the screen and that's what's going to be executed.
Yeah, so it doesn't need to, you don't need to press directly on it.
Exactly.
Because it's selected here, I can even tap once here and that will do the same. So the zoom out will work. And if I swipe to the right, the zoom level up is now activated. So if I click anywhere on my screen, it will start zooming in, even if I'm not pressing directly on it.
Exactly. So it makes it a lot better. It makes it more seamlessly when you're working only in Prodigy, and most of the time you are, and you have that same voice all the time, and you can go through all the buttons, you can navigate through all the buttons. So that we saw how it works using the carousel main menu, which you had the big icons, but there's another interface that you can use. For example, there's a lot of students that don't like to have those big icons for main menu. So if I go back to main menu there, Heyrick, you have those big icons. You can set it so that you have several other icons. And there's another way of navigating through that with voice. So if we go into settings, user interface, interface. Oh, it's true. You don't have that.
What?
I'm mixed up with the Connect 12.
With the
And
I follow you.
but it's still there. You have several interfaces for the student, depending on the age of the student on the Mat Connect. What's awesome about the Mat Connect and then its interfaces is that you have a basic, standard, and advanced interface. So if you have a young student, you're teaching to a young student, and you don't want that young student to be using all the bells and whistles of the Mat Connect, you can choose a basic interface, and that will only have a magnifier and distance application. And then once that student grows and you want the student to be using the OCR part of things, then you can go to a standard interface where it's going to add the OCR functions and maybe a simple gallery. And then once that student needs to go and, let's say, use the web, use the Chrome web browser, or needs a Word application, and you can download it. You can download that from the Play Store. Then that student can go into the advanced interface and have the full-blown Mat Connect interface and have all the Android concepts behind that. For the Connect 12, it's a bit different. And we're not going to go through that in this webinar, but it's a bit different for the Connect 12.
There you go. And just for the ones that that use the speech activated, there is an option within the user interface to change the color of that highlighted rectangle. So if somebody would prefer to use a different color that's more visible for them within the user interface, you can actually scroll down to the locator color option. So by default, it's selected to red, but if you selected, you could choose purple for that matter. And when you go back, then your highlighter color is changed to purple. So I'll be changing the audio and turn off the speech one. And I'll leave it to documents only. There you go. And I'm back to a normal mode.
So in documents only, it's when you're going to scan a document, it's only going to have voice when you're going to press the play button on a document.
That's right. And the third Prodigy accessibility option that we wanted to review is within the user interface menu right here. It is the colors. They're different. There are about 20 color combinations that come pre-packaged with the Matte Connect. So the third option from the top is called colors, black on white. This is by default the one that we're seeing here today. So if somebody feels, depending on their visual impairment, they could be using different color option combination. When we looked at the one that was built in with Android earlier, the only one that was built in is it just color inverts everything. So that might give a very odd user experience. So the one that's built in Prodigy, as soon as you click on any of them, and the one that's currently activated is always confirmed here with a checkmark icon. So if you go to white on black, it instantly gives you an on-screen preview of what it would look like. So if you feel comfortable with that color option, you simply just need to go back and it's activated in your Prodigy. So there are different ones that are available, such as black on gray, black on yellow. Some of them are a little funky, but they could work for different students. So there's blue on black, and the color rendition here throughout the webcam might not be really reliable, but if you try it on your Matte Connect, you'll see how crisp the colors are. Black on green. So there are several of them that are available. And again, as soon as you select it, it gives you the instant preview. And if you're accepting that one, it's confirmed with a check mark. So I'll go back to the standard black on white. There you go. If I switch over.
I have a question there, Heyrick.
Yeah.
On the colors, is there a way to make Prodigy the same as the Android? What's the difference?
The same as Android. Is there a
Yep.
way to make your Prodigy the same as Android?
So I'm guessing you're talking about the colors here. So as Heyrick was mentioning, is that in Android there's only the inversion of the colors. You don't have a specific color scheme for the text. These colors that Heyrick is going through is only for the Prodigy software.
So if I'm selecting one here, you see my carousel would also be, I just picked yellow and black, and unfortunately it's not rendering well through the webcam, but my entire carousel, all the icons have been colored with the right color that I selected in the contrast menu. So all icons are yellow, the text is yellow on a black background, as opposed to the Android accessibility option. It was just applying a color inversion automatically on everything. So it wasn't using a specific color combination. So if I go back to my settings here.
And these are settings in Prodigy.
That's right.
Right now, Heyrick is all in Prodigy because somebody's asking, I can't find the option. So it's all in Prodigy right now. So the Prodigy settings.
So if I go black on purple. So again, if you select a color combination directly within Prodigy, so that color combination gets applied only to Prodigy. So if you go to Chrome or you exit to Android or use any other app, that color combination will not affect other external apps, as opposed to the Android one that we reviewed earlier at the beginning of this webinar. That one overrides everything and it gets applied across the board on your tablet. So if you just want, this is the part that's interesting because you might just want to use that color combination when you're using apps within Prodigy, but you're comfortable using the standard colors in your Android apps.
Okay, there's a bit of confusion here.
Yes.
Eric, I'm seeing the chat here and people are chatting and people are trying to understand. Yes, the Matte Connect is an Android tablet, but Prodigy is an application that is a HumanWare based. It's HumanWare that developed it for the low vision user. And Prodigy is what is our main interface. It's your home application that's going to be installed on your Android tablet on the Matt Connect. So this is the main interface that the student will be using. Well, when we say to go into Android, means to go into the Android desktop, the
That's right.
standard interface of an Android tablet. That's what we're talking about. So it's not two different systems. It's the Android is the system, the operating system that runs everything on the tablet, but the Prodigy is a software that enables low vision to be more efficient in their tasks that they have to do the day by day in their day-to-day task.
So this is the feature that we reviewed earlier for the color inversion within the Android base settings. This is the one that converts the entire colors and will also affect the Prodigy output in terms of colors. So this one gets applied universally across the board in the Android apps, any apps, including Prodigy. And the one we reviewed within Prodigy only gets applied within Prodigy apps. All right. So I see there was a question in terms of the talkback within the calculator, right? So
yes, and yes, Talkback should be able. You should be able to use Talkback in the calculator with no problems. Anywhere in Prodigy, you can use Talkback, except for the when you take notes on captures or if you decide to take notes on a blank page. So that's the only part where Talkback does not work.
okay. Is there any other question? Can we say that Prodigy is a kind of a launcher?
Yes, it's kind of a launcher. It's your home application. Usually, you can set Prodigy as your home application, and usually, if you order the Matt Connect, it's set in production as your home application. So when it boots directly in Prodigy.
So you would be greeted, users would be greeted into this carousel by default, which is a launcher by itself. So
I do suggest maybe Leanne, we can post the link to the YouTube playlist that we have on APH Matt Connect, and for those who are asking a lot of questions like that, maybe go through all the webinars. We gave several webinars explaining what the Matt Connect is and what it can do. I want to really concentrate today on the accessibility part of things. There's two parts of accessibility on the Matt Connect. There's one when you use the Android system where you go and use applications like the Word application, Chrome application, even Excel application. This is where you're going to use all your talkback and accessibility. But there's also another part of the accessibility where when you use Prodigy, the software that comes with your Matt Connect, there's another type of accessibility, and that's what we want. That's the goal of this this webinar today, is to go through a couple of these accessibility features.
All right, so those were the three ones that we wanted to review within Prodigy, and we also wanted to discuss on the benefits of synthetic speech within the Prodigy app. With the speech on that's activated, it just eases up. It's actually makes it easier for somebody that would have either with their eyes that are tired, eye fatigue, or they simply want to rest their eyes and rely on the speech navigation. They could use headphones and not bother classmates, and they could have either the menus spoken out loud to them through the headphones, or have documents read directly to them that have been processed through the OCR. So I can. I didn't have one that's. I didn't have one here that's that I could read out loud. I don't know if you have one on your end, Eric, but it's like a document that's been processed through the OCR. But
Yeah, I can take over, Heyrick, and I'll finish. I don't know, is it Leanne or Paul that's going to give me the spotlight on my camera? I'm just going to switch here to my camera because I got a couple of things that I want to go through you guys with you guys. Just very quickly, I know we're ending this webinar very soon. I'm just going to switch to my Matt Connect. All right, good, perfect. So yes, let's go back to Prodigy. When I was talking about the main application, usually if it's not set as your home application, Prodigy, this is the pop-up that you'll get once you boot up the Matt Connect, or you hit that little circle at the bottom of the screen. What you want to do if you want to set the Prodigy as your home application and always boot or start in your Prodigy, so you want to select the always option, and that's going to set it as always, and you're always going to be in that kind of mode, and it's always going to be your default application. So if I go into my gallery, because I have some documents already in your gallery, and if you're in text only, the only way that you're going to hear the TTS talk is that by having a document that was scanned, or maybe a PDF that was imported inside your gallery, and you press the play button, or just press and hold on one word, and it's going to start reading. I don't have my voice on right now, but it's going to start reading, and it's going to start following the text. When I was talking before and I was saying that the speech is off, I like when the speech is off, because then it scrolls and it shows you, you don't have that highlight, but you can control the speed at which the scroll is done, and have the student read and make him understand what he's reading at the same time. So that would be the speech only option, and that's great for eye fatigues, and you can put that on at occasions and have the text read out loud to you. There was one question that was asked because we said the Matt Connect at the beginning of the webinar, Matt Connect comes with a keyboard. So there's several questions on that keyboard and what it is, and really it's going to be a package that we're going to start offering very soon with the Matt Connect. It's already offered on the Connect 12, but very soon, in a couple of weeks, you'll hear about it. It's a new package that will be available with the Matt Connect, and it will come with and again, the Matt Connect won't change price for this, but it will come with a nice keyboard, a Bluetooth keyboard with a big text on it, and really made for the low vision. So it's a very nice addition to the Matt Connect, where you have a physical keyboard with it. It will also come, if you don't have, it will also come with a battery pack that you can use with the distance camera, because the distance camera has only a small little battery pack that comes with it, and it doesn't last a day. So to last a day, it comes now with a battery pack that you can connect externally to your distance camera. And it also comes with now, in a couple weeks, but a nice leather case, which I have here, which is awesome for students, because then you can go on the go, put your tablet inside that leather case. It's going to protect it, and you can go, let's say for right now, because of COVID, everybody's confined, but let's say the class goes to the zoo or something like that, you can bring only the tablet with you and use all these same features that are offered on Prodigy. If you bought the Matt Connect, you just bought the Matt Connect, you don't have those accessories, there will be a form that will be shared with you on the APH website. Soon again, you'll be hearing from us, and you can get you can input all the information on the Matt Connect, and you can get those free accessories to you as soon as we can. So if I go through all the learning objectives, so the participant will learn 4 Android accessibility options. I think we did pretty much that. We went through the Talkback. We went through the Talkback options, the color inversion option, larger text, and also the magnification
That's correct.
option,
Yeah.
which is the magnification gestures is the most important option in my eyes to go around and be able to navigate in Android. The participant will identify 3 Prodigy accessibility options. We saw that in the audio settings, we can have audio off, documents only, or on. So you have 3 options there. When it's off, then you don't have any accessibility at all. It's you need to manage with your vision. And then you have documents only, where you have parts of it that's read out to you, but not all. And then you have the speech on, where you can have all the buttons read out to you and all the menus at the same time read out to you. So it's our kind of talkback, Prodigy talkback. Then 3 benefits of the synthetic speech. Tired eyes, when you're tired, you can make the device read out to you very easily, to be able to navigate very easily through Prodigy or any menus, and also navigate through the buttons. That was awesome. And I love the questions. You know what? I'm going to do a copy and paste of all these questions in the chat, and we'll try to answer and get back to you when we can. We're very busy with these times, but I think it would be really, really helpful to maybe get back to all the questions that have been posted on the chat. And these are awesome questions. I don't want to leave them out, because accessibility is part of our world, and it's very important to learn about them. And this webinar, Leanne, is going to be recorded and will be shared through our through APH's YouTube channel. And you can refer to this webinar and others that we've been making with APH. And we have once a month a webinar like this. Like, again, I feel honored of doing these webinars, and thank you very much, Heyrick. I think you did a pretty good job for your first APH webinar. Good job.
Thanks for co-assisting. Thanks, guys.
And again, Leanne, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.